done it again. We have made it. It is episode 292. I repeat, the 292nd edition of this show. And what is this show? This is At Home. I am James. You are you. We are here. And it is a very special day. No, not just because it's the 22nd of September. No, not because we're going through this weird minor heat wave. It's a special day because it's quite possibly one of my favorite days of the year. That's right, it's autumn, a time in which the leaves should change colors and they should fall off the trees into the pavement and the ground below, hearing the crispy crunch of every step that we take, the leaves beneath our shoes. When you look out to the sky and you almost see the crisp breeze that kisses your cheek and, dare I say, your lips, a time in which a soft sweater vest doesn't seem out of place. And if you don't have one, you make your way to one of my least favorite stores, LL Bean, a time in which a warm beverage past 6 o'clock isn't that crazy after all. We didn't get that today, did we? No. We got something that I alluded to moments ago. It was 31 degrees in Montreal. Not only was it 31 degrees, it was raining and dreary. The worst of the worst of the worst. What a way to ring in autumn. This is the second ever autumn edition of At Home. This time last year, I was comfortable. This time, I'm sweating beneath this flannel shirt. And I think that it was an omen. I think it was a bad omen. And not because spooky season is fast approaching. I think that this horrible first day of autumn set the tone for a curse on this show. Now, I know that you've heard me talk about how this show, I think, has gone through periods of being cursed. And I fear that this has happened tonight because one Andrew Asaf was scheduled to be tonight's technical director. And that young man, Andrew Asaf, was on the megabus from Montreal back to his home, away from home in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now that should have been the first warning sign, is that he was taking the megabus. The megabus, synonymous with cheap prices and the smell of fecal matter radiating through the vehicle. That should have been the warning sign, but I was so optimistic that even though the weather sucked, that tonight would work out as I had hoped and wished and dreamed of. And then, hours before we are set to go on the air, the young man, Andrew Asaf, says, my bus is in traffic. They're estimating that I'm only going to get into Toronto in 4 hours. I spring into action knowing that that youngster, Andrew Asaf, will not make tonight's show. I go to Dave Kaufman, the man who Andy has saved time and time and time again. And Dave responded with a resounding, nope. But he's got a kid, right? Which on some level, some might say is a curse unto itself. I wouldn't. I would never dare say that a crying crap machine could be a curse. Some might. And it's at this point in my day when I think, well, I guess I'm going to cancel the show. This is when Dave says, why don't you ask Dimitri? But I know well enough to know that Dimitri can only do Fridays. He has really put himself in a position to never have to fill in. This man is a boy genius. But I'd say, you know what? Just for the hell of it, let's check in with Dimitri. He's probably painting role-playing game figurines. Or perhaps he's playing some sci-fi based board game with Mark Rowland. But I decide, you know what? I'm going to send him the message anyways. And he tells me, I'm teaching an improv class tonight. And I ask him where. He tells me, Le Plateau Mont Royal. And I think, I guess it's it. We're going to cancel tonight's show. It is cursed. Then he said, the class finishes at 8:30. do you think I'll make it on time? I said, whoa, you tell me. The ball's in your court. Not only did he take the ball, he ran down the court. He was fouling players along the way, elbows, knees to the groin, spitting on the officials. This man took the ball down the court and he slam dunked the ball. He showed up in front of the technical director's booth at 9:08 p.m. I announced that the show was going to start late. Yeah, the other night I was talking about our Instagram account, the account that sucks, man. This account stinks. I don't even know how many people saw that the show's starting late, but I gave people fair warning that the show is going to start late. Dimitri's here. Not only is he doing this under much duress, he was teaching. He's also simultaneously running various marathons, franchises. This man is the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. Dimitri might be my hero. And we're going to check in with Dimitri much later on as he eats chips at the technical directors. You can't hear it. All I hear is crunching noises. And this really speaks to the level of my ability to just go and go and go. I can have this guy giving me cues. This guy could be passing gas. He's eating chips. He's got a check mix or something. Who's on tonight's show? Let's kick things off with one of the true greats in at-home history. It's Joe Conto, live and in living color. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, what up, Jimmy? How are you?
Were you trying to figure out what you were going to call me there? Did 5 or 6 different nicknames go through your brain, and then you went with Jimmy?
Well, sometimes I call you James, sometimes I call you Jimmy, sometimes I just call you Jim.
Yep.
And I thought let's use Jimmy tonight.
Well, here's the thing. Now, this is something that people are often surprised to hear when they know me through the comedy world, is that up to about 10 years ago, James was not a name I was used to being referred to. I would get a lot of the names you mentioned: Jim, Jimmy, Jimbo, Jim Bob. No one in my family has ever called me James, to my knowledge. Maybe briefly as a child. Only when I would introduce myself to people in the improv world would James finally stick. In high school, last name, everyone only called me McGee. That was my name to everyone. This is a fairly new name for me, still in the past decade, James.
Was it on purpose?
Was being called James on purpose in the past decade? Not at all.
Did you start to introduce yourself as James? No.
I would always introduce myself as James, but somehow along the way, it would organically people would look at me and go, no, you ain't no James. Right, but in improv, it became James. And a few people, including yourself, have decided I'm going to adopt the name that everyone else calls him. Yeah.
But did you start referring to yourself as James purposely, or you always called yourself James just because that's your given name?
Always.
And people would adopt a nickname for you?
Correct. I have never said, oh, hey, how's it going? My name's Jim. Never. When I refer to myself as those names, it feels and sounds uncomfortable. Yep. Only when I do it are people like, oh, do you have any nicknames? And I'll say, well, some people call me Jim. I get a lot of Jimmy. I like my name an awful lot. I have no issue with being called any of those nicknames, but the name James comes with status, dare I say.
Oh, yeah. It's more sophisticated and professional.
Mm-hmm. Now, can I ask you, have you always been Joe, or do people dare call you Joseph?
Oh, no, Joseph, never. My mom used to call me Joseph. But when I was a little kid...
a serial killer name.
Yeah. No. There's never been a serial killer named Joseph, is there?
What's your middle name?
Not yet.
What's your middle name?
Michael.
Yeah. And tonight, we examine the mind of serial killer Joseph Michael Conto.
That is pretty good. And then I'm just babbling and shit. You know, when I was a little kid, everybody called me Joey. Like, that was my name. I was Joey everywhere.
It's tough to be a Joey as you become an adult, I think. That's a very childlike, youthful name.
But I remember the moment, I went to Catholic school, K through 6, the same school, Bishop Smith Memorial. And then 7th grade, I moved over to Notre Dame because Bishop Smith only went to 6th grade. Mm-hmm. So I was at Notre Dame, and I had a folder. Mm-hmm. And I was going to write my name on my folder. and I wrote J-O-E, and I purposely lifted my pen and I said, Joey Conto is no more. So in seventh grade, I renamed myself Joe Conto.
That was the day that you became a man.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever get JoJo? Because I've called you that.
Oh, yeah, my sister still calls me JoJo. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about Joe Blow?
No, I wouldn't allow that. There's a lot of garbage nicknames that come with Joe. Joe Blow is definitely one of them. Like Average Joe is one that I'm not crazy about.
What about this one? Smoking Joe Conto. Kind of like
I've never gotten that one either. People would come up to me and say, "Hey Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand?"
Of course,
right. I got that. Yeah.
You know what? I quite like that. What do you ever get? Country Joe? You ever say, "Hey Country Joe, where's the fish?"
No, I've literally never gotten anybody
this
say.
This is a reference to 60s hippie musical act, Country Joe and the Fish.
I know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Is that true, or are you pulling my leg?
This is an actual
Canadian?
band. They performed at Woodstock. They're most notorious. They have a lot of notoriety for their song about Vietnam at Woodstock. So their song, the Country Joe and the Fish, would be, and it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Oh, there ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all going to die.
I've never in my life heard
Joe,
such a thing.
You're pissing me off.
I'm sorry.
No, you could never. Now, Joe, look, let's cut the crap here.
Yeah.
We could talk about nicknames till the cows come home. I got a simple question for you. You a fan of the autumn season?
You know I am.
Right.
I live in an autumn part of the world, right? The mountains of northern New York State. Which, by the way, we were at 16 degrees today, the other one, Celsius.
Oh, you mean the perfect degree.
And blue skies, zero humidity. I taught an improv class earlier tonight, and we had it outside.
Is this becoming the improv teacher show? Is this what this is, the improv teacher show?
Well, it's what we do. It's what we do. I had them lift a disc tonight, James. I did all the worst corny stuff.
Joe, we're not going to talk about improv.
No, we're not. We sure.
Now, here's the reason. Here's the reason I wanted to ask you if you're a fall fan, because I know that last fall there was an incident that I'm worried skewed your favor towards this season. Now, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But last Halloween 2020, you were part of one of, if not the most controversial moments in at-home program history, when you, as well as a few people, believed that you were robbed of the pumpkin carving contest championship. So you lost it also twice.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that earlier. It's funny that you say that. Just maybe 2 days ago, I was driving by a garden store here in town, and they had all their pumpkins out, and I thought about that. And it burned me up a little bit again, because I don't because I think I should have won.
and a few other people do. Now, Joe, here's the thing. I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
No, I'm not going to carve the one this year, if that's what you're asking me.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Now, on Friday, October 29th of 2021.
I understand what you're saying, yes.
For the second time ever, it will be the at-home Halloween Spooktacular.
I think it'll be a nice thing for me to watch on Twitch.
Featuring costumes.
Great.
Spooky stories.
I love a spooky story.
A multitude of guests.
Oh, so many guests.
But also,
oh, no, you don't.
the pièce de résistance.
You motherfucker. You think I'm going to come back on and put all the effort into making pumpkin just to have it be treated like some amateur hour? Absolutely.
For the second time ever.
I'm telling you, no.
It is.
I've thought about it.
The at-home.
I've retired my tools.
Carving competition. Now, there's going to be a variety of contestants, but Joe.
Well, how many?
Hold on, Joe.
Okay.
As you were saying.
Last year, there were 3 contestants.
Right. It was yourself, Sarah DeHay, and Kim Ho. And Kim Ho, who ended up, he ran away with the votes.
No.
But here's the thing, Joe. I've been spending the last calendar year in deep thought about you. And I thought, you know what? How could I have improved that contest?
Well, go ahead.
And I've landed on a couple things. I could have prepared it better. I could have come up with categories. I could have come up with a point scheme. I could have come up with a more comprehensive voting system. So
that maybe included the home voter.
Including the home voter. Now, Joe, what if I were to tell you that in 2021, we plan to revamp the contest as a whole to make it not only fair for, I don't know, hypothetical participants, but maybe some returning contestants? What would you think?
I was burned twice by your show, James. Did you ever watch Charlie Brown, where he goes to kick that, speaking of autumn, goes to kick that football and it's pulled out from in front of him again and again? Mm-hmm. No, I refuse.
Yeah, I was Lucy in that situation. It sounds like, and you were.
And I'm the Charlie Brown. I'm the Charlie. Here's the point.
Yeah,
I'm not the Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But you are.
But you are Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to go to the chat right now. It's coming in from Sid Rock. He writes, disgraced pumpkin carving competition, botched the judging. Then he also follows up with, I legitimately don't trust this. Now, Joe, I want you to answer. You be honest as you want. Do you really think I'd set you up to fail?
You would like nothing better. Because I'm the kind of guy, I know. I'm the kind of guy that you want to see get a pie in the face. I get it. And, usually I'm up for it. But I put so much effort into that. I did shading. I remember I used an external string.
You committed a crime in order to secure that. You stole the pumpkin from a dentist's office. You're a thief.
I did. I can't deny that happened, but I will say there were no pumpkins to buy.
Okay, and that's fair because I had asked people to do it on the spookiest night of the year. But this is what I will say, Joe. You're correct. I like to tease people. I like a gentle ribbing, but I also like an underdog story. Yeah. Could you imagine raising up from the ashes like a phoenix into the sky?
Oh, it sounds great on paper.
Defies all the odds after an embarrassing defeat in 2020 to come back and win in 2021. I know that you think I'm going to pull the football away, but what if I didn't and you were to just climb to the top of the mountain and plant your flag at the peak of Everest with that pumpkin in tow?
Sounds great.
And what if the people wanted it, Joe?
No, that's the thing. I don't know that the people want it. Yeah. I don't know. Look, Jim,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jimbo,
Joe.
Jim Bob,
Mm-hmm.
Walton.
Mm-hmm.
I will do this. Mm-hmm. I will participate in this stupid humiliation. Yeah. And you know what? When I am humiliated, when I am wiping coconut cream pie for my eyes, like a silent film star.
Mm-hmm.
I will think to myself, well, I knew it was a snake when I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not gonna be angry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in knowing that this is what I am doing. You can't be mad at a snake that bites you, because that's what snakes do.
And that's fair. You have all the right in the world to feel this, because look, I have been less than trustworthy in situations like this. I admit it.
Love it.
I do love it, but I also will always do what's best for the show. And I think that this is like Rudy, right? This is the bad news bears.
So it will be fair.
It is going to 100% be fair, to the point that I'm willing to expose right now that I met with the other collaborators on this show to begin determining what the point scheme is.
How the system works.
Correct.
It was just this haphazard. What do you like? What do you like? And somebody goes, I like this. And then all of a sudden that was their effing vote.
And here's the thing. It was their effing vote. You're right.
But it wasn't.
And you have to realize there's many of these shows I walk away thinking this could have been better. That could have been better. I love a happening. I love a happening.
Okay.
And I knew that I dropped the football by not preparing, because I love preparing. I don't like these dog and pony shows. There's a reason we're at episode 291, because we demand excellence. And not only do I demand excellence out of myself, Joe, I demand excellence out of you. That's why I want to challenge you to top yourself this year. If you want to win, well, damn it, stand up and take the win. Don't just sit there on your fanny thinking that you're gonna woo all these people because they feel bad for you. Why don't you stop feeling bad for yourself? When you get out of bed.
To me?
Yeah, when you get out of bed.
You talking to me? I'm fine. Look, I'll be there. I'll carve your stupid pumpkin. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll be your pumpkin puppet.
Yeah. That's what I want to hear.
But here's the deal. I could at least walk away last year saying that was a damn fine jack-o'-lantern.
It was a damn fine jack-o'-lantern that you promptly threw into the garbage.
I threw it in the trash. The minute that night, it went right in the trash. It never went on the stoop.
Well, and why would it? Because the next day was November 1st.
Did we do it on the actual night of Halloween?
It was on Halloween night. This year, you've got plenty of time to get one of those last-minute pumpkins. It will be the 29th, a unadvertised programming announcement right here, the 29th of October, 9:00 p.m. It's going to be the at-home Halloween Spooktacular 2021 edition.
How many people are going to be carving pumpkins this year?
3 participants.
No, that's no fun. Minimum 5.
Joe, you're driving a hard bargain.
Well, why only 3? That's not enough. Look, the people at home want to see a contest here.
You want 5, Joe?
Minimum 5.
In the interest in proving to you that I am a man of my word, and nothing I'm saying tonight is to set you up to sit on the whoopee cushion, 5 contestants.
Here's the deal. If I didn't win out of 5 people, I could possibly feel okay about that.
5 contestants. You get it.
Minimum
5 contestants. Minimum. Joe, look at that. This is what I call an on-the-air negotiation.
What will the categories be? Or is it just best overall?
We're still in the process of figuring all these things out, but there's going to be a very clear point scheme that is going to be advertised and posted for people to look into.
Will the at-home viewer have an opportunity to vote in the system?
We're looking into how we're going to do it.
Okay, that's important.
Joe, we've done it again. You and I have made at-home magic.
I think so.
Joe, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight.
I didn't get a chance.
You didn't get a chance to what?
Are
you about to expose yourself on the air?
No, but no, I'm making you an offer.
This really is a negotiation.
I'm getting some work done in my car, and where I go and pick it up tomorrow, there's a farm store.
Okay.
And I think you love the products at a farm store.
Sure. Yeah.
Pumpkin butter.
Yeah.
Maple cookies.
Yeah, sure.
Cider donuts, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be in Montreal on Sunday. And my question is, do you want something from the farm store?
This is what I'm interested in, these cider donuts. Let's talk off air, and then we're going to commiserate about some of the other items to see which really pique my curiosity.
You like pickles?
I love pickles.
Oh, I think I got a pickle for you.
Then, well, all right. Are you sure you're not going to expose yourself, Joe?
I think I just did.
Joe, here's the thing. I invited you on to talk about the autumn, and then what happened was we really went deep into the annals of the at-home archives to really break down your shame last year and what might possibly be the uprising of your life.
It was. Look, I've had a lot of disappointments.
Well,
and that was a big one.
You've got audience support right now coming in from the chat. Quote, I am not going to support At Home with James if I can't vote on the pumpkin.
This is important to the people.
Then if it's important to the people and it's important to you, well, then it's important to me because I look at myself as a man of the people.
Well, you certainly are.
Well, I appreciate that, Joe. I want to thank you so much for stopping by tonight.
My pleasure. Anytime.
The pleasure is all mine. And Joe.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you so much. Really, for real. I miss you like crazy. So I'm so happy that we had a chance to talk tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to give me your pickle on Sunday.
Oh, you'll get my pickle on Sunday.
All right, Joe. Well, I can't wait.
It's all right, home viewers. Okay.
No need to apologize. Thanks so much, Joe.
Goodbye.
That's Joe Conto. He's going to give me some pickles this upcoming Sunday. Maybe we'll live stream that on the air. The question you're asking yourself, does Joe do you have a salty pickle or a sour pickle? I'm not going to answer for him. Folks, as we continue on tonight, I wanted to not only have that surprise programming announcement, but I wanted to dabble in something that we really haven't done before. I know a lot of people and parents now, new parents, and parents of varying ages of children that they own. You call that a child owner? Sounds a little nefarious. We'll edit that out in post-production. But what I wanted to do was try something a little funky, because I've seen on a lot of these kind of talk shows and variety shows that, you know, of course, kids, quote, say the darndest things, but they often do the darndest things. And I've taught a variety and I've led a variety of children's improv workshops and acting workshops, and I've performed for children in the past a multitude of times. And I think that, well, kids can be real interesting. They're really plucky. And what I wanted to do was do kind of a kids corner on this show. So I got a lot of the parents that I know to put a call out to their kids to have some like fun drawings. I thought it's autumn. The kids have gone back to school. Let's see what these kids have been working on. So we have like a lot of fun drawings. I haven't seen these beforehand. Devin, our production assistant, has collected these and he's gone through all of them because we had an overwhelming response. Of course, there's not time to look at all the kids' drawings. But we're going to check out a few drawings right now on the first ever Kids Corner on At Home. So these are going to be popping up on your screen in any matter of moments. So we're going to get these pictures pulled up, as I was saying, excuse me, on the screen. So we're going to look at the first one here. Now, this one's fun. This one, I believe this one comes from Erica, no age. This is funny. This is the Hamburglar, classic McDonald's character for some of us who remember back in the day when McDonald's had their fun characters like Grimace and Ronald McDonald and Mayor McCheese. If you don't know the Hamburglar, he was a burglar that stole hamburgers. So this one comes in from, I think this is Erica or Eliana. I can't quite read it. No age. I'm going to say roughly that, you know, it's probably like maybe like a 6 or 7 year old. And I do also want to say you're hearing a song right now. This is a sponsored track. This comes to us also from a child. So So this is the kids corner. We've got kids drawings. This song comes to us from 12-year-old Lassie DuPont. Loves guitar, loves the blues. So this is a music phenomenon coming from Lassie DuPont. We're gonna move on to our next drawing. I really like that hamburger one. So Erica, Eliana, if you're watching, really loved the Hamburglar. As we move on, oh, this one's pretty interesting. We've got Donut and Spider. This one comes from Colby's. So this might be a couple kids. There's a couple Colbys. Maybe they worked on this in tandem. So this looks more kind of like a sesame seed donut. And then we've got a six-legged spider off to the side, a disproportionate amount of legs, but again, creative. Perhaps this is something that Colby saw while having breakfast or a snack one of these days. So Colby, thanks for sending this in. We're going to move on to our next drawing. That one was really creative as well. All right, well, this comes from Sophie. This is Granny in the bubble bath. As you can see, there's just is an old lady sitting with a radio right beside a tub. I don't know. That might be some type of death hazard. Old grandma's wearing her glasses. She's got her lipstick on and she's just sucking back a cigarette in the tub. Comes from Sophie, who I guess been walking in on her grandmother in the tub. So yeah, Sophie, thanks so much for sending in Granny in the bathtub. We're gonna move on to our next drawing here. All right, so this is pretty interesting. This one comes to us from Donna Pepperinish, age 10. This is a fun drawing of Walter Mondale, former American political figure, Walter Mondale. This is a pretty good Walter Mondale, a little bit, thicker in the face than I remember Walter Mondale. Very interesting that a 10-year-old would know American politics from a very long time ago, but thanks Donna, age 10, for that one. Let's move on to our next drawing. All right, this one comes to us from Steve the Great, who's 8 years old. This is a yogurt breathing dragon. Again, very creative, right? This really falls in line with the spider by the donut earlier. This dragon really looks pained, breathing out yogurt into the skyline. I like that in case there's any confusion, there's a little arrow that points up to this dragon to really indicate to you that, yes, this is a dragon. This one comes to us from Steve the Great 8. So thank you for that, Steve. Let's move on to our next drawing. Good Lord. So Devin, I guess, has really gone through these and found the ones that speak the most to him. This comes from 6-year-old Peter. This one's called Dad's Drawer. And on top of a nightstand, it looks like, this is fun. Hustler. Of course, misspelled. The 6-year-old might not know that there's a T in the word hustler. Looks like maybe a joint above the Hustler magazine. Then inside the drawer, got just a cocktail of narcotics. There's prescription pills, bottles. This looks like a bag of cocaine, a pipe. And oh, look, this right beside the pipe looks like a loose condom. So Peter, who's 6 years old, I want you to talk to your other parent or maybe some type of figure at school to talk about what's going on in your dad's drawer, and maybe don't go through Dad's Drawer no more. Let's move on to our 7th and final drawing. This is from 8-year-old Tobias. This is called Home Sweet Home. And this, it depicts a young Tobias in the middle. Then we've got mom, dad, and a little dog, I think, named Smurf. And it looks like their home is burning in the background, half aflame, half still completely erect. And I'm, all right, I'm getting a production note from Devin. He's indicating to me that this drawing is in fact based on true events. If you zone in on Dad, he looks real sad. Dad looks real sad. So I want to thank Tobias. And I want to thank all the kids who sent in these drawings as part of the first ever Kids Corner on At Home with James. And yeah, we'll talk to Devin about how we can, maybe get a little bit more lighthearted cartoons. I wasn't aware that kids had it so tough. But you know what? That's real life, right? On this show, it's not always pretty, but we try our best to make the most of a situation. And somebody that made the most of a situation is Dimitri Kyres. If you weren't here off the top of the show, this man sped from work to get here, replacing Andy Asaf at the last minute. This show should have been 20, 25, 30 minutes late. This show is 12 minutes late. So not only do I want to thank the viewer for hanging in there and coping with us, but I want to thank our guest, and he's none other than Dimitri Kyres. Dimitri, look, first and foremost, you are tonight's hero. Dimitri, I was saying that first and foremost, you are tonight's hero. Dimitri, where are you coming to us from? Well, this looks like you're, I was going to say a wedding reception. You went from teaching an improv class to running one of your marathons while working on tonight's show. Yeah, Dimitri, you might want to turn that music down. It sounds like you've got the restaurant in more of a fun-loving situation as opposed to what it has been, which is, in your words, I can hear you. Yeah, it seems like a recent. Hold on. Yeah, of course.
I don't think the audience was able to hear me the whole time.
Yeah, the music over at this marathons is bumping.
It's it's a little loud. I'll tell you that right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Somebody messed with my gears.
Well, yeah, I was saying that it seems like you've kind of changed the tone at marathons where, in your words, in recent weeks, it's been a sexual experience. Tonight, this seems more upbeat and bombastic.
Yeah, it's the new look. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I want to learn more about it because I hear the music, I see the energy. I don't see a lot of clients, but I'm curious to know what's going on at this new location.
Okay, yeah, well, welcome to more marathons, where we've rebranded again, obviously, and this is all about getting down to the country. Yeehaw!
Okay, so this is a country-themed marathons.
This is a country-themed restaurant. It's all about the country, it's all about the harvest, and it's all about good friends, and even gooder booze.
So gooder booze? But is there good food?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
All right, so right now it sounds like a bar or brasserie or maybe a tavern or roadhouse.
Yeah, all those things. Roadhouse is I can put that on a menu and sell that. Anyway, you're catching me like I said, I was just teaching improv and then I immediately ran to my restaurateur duty, so I apologize. I'm teching the show. I'm also in the kitchen. I'm also writing a new menu right now.
Yeah, well, and that's why I wanted to, of course, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You really came in and saved the day.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I know how you can make it up to me.
Oh, well, how's that?
You can help me write this new menu.
I'm going to help you write the new menu?
Yeah, what do you think?
Now, the past couple weeks, you've been here with all of these new menus, and I've been kind of giving you my 2 cents. You want me to help write the menu?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're criticizing me really hard on the menus, which I appreciate.
Sure.
But you seem to obviously know a lot about good, fine dining. I know that you're a man of wealth and taste. And I'm
not sure many would agree specifically with that wealth part, but let's continue.
You seem like you dress well enough to, make a good living. So anyway, wealth and taste. And I think I figured, look, why don't we make this a collaborative experience?
Okay. So help me understand. This is, of course, a marathons, but with a country twist.
Yeah, you got it, Jamesy boy. Here, let me bring up the menu that I'm working on right now.
All right.
Can you see it?
I sure can.
Okay, great. Yeah, here. I mean,
Well, so let's begin with autumn special menu, made fresh and special forever.
forever.
All right, so yeah, let's go through this. We've got 25, 45, a variety of prices, but with no items.
Yeah, I haven't added the items yet. So when you think about, autumn, when you think about Halloween, we think about September, October. What's a dish that comes to mind?
Okay, well, if we're starting off, what about some type of maybe like a butternut squash soup?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, that's what comes to mind for me is like a butternut squash or maybe an autumn salad.
Okay. Okay, I like this. Fresh from garden. Nice.
Sure.
Nice big squash. Wow. Delicious. With brown butter. Farm salad.
Wait, but why brown butter in the soup?
For sweetness.
Okay, so I guess this is where you and I differ.
Okay.
I guess if I was writing the menu, I would just write butternut squash soup.
Okay.
And you add a lot of descriptors, which I think are nice, and I think perhaps we could maybe meet halfway, where it could be garden fresh butternut squash soup.
Okay, garden fresh Mr. Nut soup with delicious.
Mr. Nut.
Mr. Nut is kind of like a fun way of saying like the vegetable. So people buy.
Okay, I guess my question is, why does it need to be fun, right?
Well, it's. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be fun. I guess you're right. We can.
Okay, well, what about this? How about this?
Yeah.
What if we begin with some of my dialogue and end with yours? So what if I said garden fresh butternut squash soup, and then how about you close it off with some of your own dialogue?
You're saying garnished fresh butter soup?
No, garden fresh butternut squash soup, and then how about you finish it off?
Garden butter squash.
Garden fresh butternut squash.
Garden fresh butternut squash
soup.
And
then how about you finish it off?
With okay, hold on. Okay, with delicious fresh to order. Little bit of scrum.
Dimitri, it feels like you're really forcing this, right?
I want to sell this, time to nut could be a huge seller. So
you want to name the soup Time to Nut?
What's butternut squash? No? So it's when you see this, I like when the menu gives
Okay,
me
so you want to play on words.
Yeah.
I think, okay, obviously you're interested in this word nut, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple ways we can go about it. Yours is, what is it again?
Time to nut.
Right. So there's connotations there. You understand that. What if it was a soup nut to miss? Like not to miss, but nut. Or butternut pass this up.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Butternut this pasta.
Butternut pass this up.
Butternut pass this up. That's good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's really good. Butternut pass this up.
Yeah.
And with a name like that, we're gonna have to bump this up to $45.
Wait, you're increasing the price because the name is clever?
Well, the name is very good, and we charge a premium for this. With a name like this, people are going to say, well, why is it only $32?
Okay, so I just think there's a problem with a $45 starter soup, but that's just me.
It's well, you don't, no, it's not there's nothing indicating here whether it's a starter or a main.
Okay, so how big is this soup?
Hold on, I got to turn the music back on. How big's the soup? It's immense. You get the pot.
What do you mean by immense?
It's immense. It's a massive, massive experience.
Well, how much is it? A gallon of soup?
Yes. Let's do that.
So you're going to charge $45 for a gallon of butternut squash soup. And these are made to order?
But James, it's butternut. Pass this up.
All right. Okay, so it sounds like, yeah, we're making some headway slowly but surely.
With scrumptious potatoes.
You're putting potatoes in it too?
Just on the side.
So you're having a butternut squash soup with a side of potatoes?
We're just putting a little bit on the side.
All right.
It's just a nice. It's nice. It's very much to the season.
All right.
So, I'm a big fan of this personally. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Butternut, pass this up. That's nice. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next item. Of course, I think when we think autumn, we think comfort foods.
Yeah.
So why not a grilled cheese sandwich? Right? People love a soup and a sandwich. So you might be able to upsell people if they're ordering the soup or the sandwich with one or the other, right?
So it's a nice, it's a nice upgraded, it's a nice elevated cheese. We're gonna put feta, provolone, provolone.
This is just the flavor accents are a little off. Why not? So this is Dimitri. I think you can get playful with a fancier cheese. I don't think there's anything wrong with seducing people with the tastes that they remember as a kid. So why not maybe, an aged cheddar for this grilled cheese sandwich?
Okay. I like this ancient cheddar.
No, not ancient, aged.
Ancient cheddar from pyramid times, yes?
But that's not, Dimitri, it's not true. You're lying to your customers.
It's. You think you've never been to a restaurant before and they haven't lied to you or skewed the truth? I think
I've never been to a restaurant before. Look, of course there's hyperbole, but you're saying that you're getting cheese from the ancient pyramid times.
It's not obviously from that. It's a measure of time. That is just indicating it's. I'm hearing myself talk and I understand what you're saying. So we just call it old cheese.
Why not? But aged. Not old. Old sounds spoiled.
Old sounds spoiled. All right, so we'll go aged.
There we go.
Fromage. You understand what I'm trying to do. I want to do an upgraded experience. I want to, so people enter. Again, we've been over this before. I can't sell a grilled cheese. I have to call it Mr. Cheese's home, or I have to call it something very special.
So again, it sounds like you're really looking for the name, right?
Yeah, that's my whole business. Haven't you been paying attention? It's my whole thing.
Yeah, I guess all the items that you've been pricing at a certain point of it's been lost on me, so much so that I hadn't recognized that the names are the real selling point.
Okay. Yeah, it's the whole part. Again, when you come to this place, when you come to marathons, autumn special menu made fresh and special forever. You're getting an
Okay, so what about this, right? We had a play on words. Why not call it something like Cheese Louise?
Cheese Louise?
Yeah, like the saying Geez Louise?
But what's is the implication that it's so bad that people are saying, geez Louise?
Okay, you know what? That's a fair criticism.
You know what I mean? Like, does it stink? Do we want stink aged fromage, and we lean into the fact that it's so stinky?
But no one's gonna buy it if it stinks.
But maybe people buy it because they're like, I gotta smell this fucking thing, Like how?
Okay, let's calm down there.
How stinky?
Let's calm down, Andrew Dice Clay.
How stinky can this be?
So you specifically want a smelly sandwich?
I'm saying it's so. For example, you've seen millionaires who own restaurants and they have the $1 million burger, and you go, okay, well it's it's actually like $100-something, but why do they call it the $1 million burgers? Because they put all this shit into it.
Right.
It's a novelty item. So I'm saying we can take a regular plain old, boring Mr. Cheese.
Great. So why not this? Why not price this grilled cheese sandwich at $1 million? There we go. We found it. The $1 million grilled cheese sandwich.
I like the way you think. Yeah, okay, so we lean into this then. So we go steak aged fromage with thick old bread. Say wow.
You're getting aged bread?
Yeah, from pyramid times. So we go thick old bread from ancient times. Say wow. As this cheese shocks you and your wife. Why don't we try that?
You want to reread that one back to me? For $1 million.
Stink aged fromage with thick old bread from ancient times. Say wow as this cheese shocks you and your wife.
Yeah, it's a win.
Okay, moving on.
How many more items we got here?
We can do just one more if you want.
Well, all right. So, of course, I think, this is a Greek restaurant, right? Or no?
Yeah, it could be a little bit Greek, but again, I really want to make sure that the autumn season is well represented.
Okay. Sure, the autumn season. So why not maybe like a meat pie or a tortillere?
Okay, meat pie or
it could be a chicken pot pie, very very nice comforting meal.
Yeah. Nice pastry brushed with butter.
Oh, okay.
Made fresh in oven to order with nice stuffing of fresh chicken, cream, peas, and maybe a little bit of salt.
So why the maybe? And we've been over this. Your inclusion of salt and pepper and napkins and utensils on the menu were not necessary. They know they know that,
Well, I personally don't like it when I see a customer I've slaved away in the kitchen to make their meal for them, and then I see them destroying the meal with salt on the table. So I'm saying here that I'm taking care of the salt.
Right, okay.
Don't touch the salt. And I'm telling you that, look, there might be a little bit of salt. Sometimes the peas and the food gets a little salty beforehand. Every dish is different.
Why? Okay, so take me through. We've got chicken in there. There's peas.
Okay, we have nice pastry brushed with butter and made fresh in oven to order with nice stuffing of fresh chicken, cream, peas, and maybe a little bit of salt.
How about some carrots in there? How about we add some carrots to that?
Okay, we do some...
And why don't we do some mashed potatoes on the side?
With potatoes on the side?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. This can't be $12. 82.
Well, hold on.
Yes?
What if it was $12? Imagine people, right? They see the $1 million grilled cheese sandwich and they think, this is crazy. But then they see, hold on, we can get an entire chicken pot pie with a side of mashed potatoes for $12.
So almost Mr. Cheese's home is acting as a red herring. It's saying like, well, we're obviously not gonna get this, so why don't we just go for the $12 meal and I sell out on meat pie or tortillere?
What if we get really crazy with this, Dimitri? You ready for this?
No, come on.
$3.
$3? That's how much it costs to make the thing. I need a mock-up on this. I need the revenue.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
$350, $375?
All right. Yeah. For $375, you get a full chicken pot pie dinner with a side of mashed potatoes.
How big is it?
Well, you tell me. You are the chef. Could be personal. Could be medium size.
We make it big.
We make it. Put that in the menu.
And get this. We make it big.
Now write this. How big? Question mark.
Oh yeah. How big? You say? How big?
How about this? Don't you dare ask.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Now that's a nice menu, man.
Right? 3 items. We've got butternut squash soup, a chicken pot pie dinner, and a $1 million grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeehaw!
Featuring spoiled ingredients.
James, I don't know how to thank you. You're like the menu whisperer, man. Holy crap. I can't wait to see you. I got a special place in this barn for opening night. November 13th is the day. Yep. And I can't wait to see you here, man. Wow.
November 13th. That's not Remembrance Day, is it? The 12th, I think.
Did I book myself this shit? I may have done
I think you're good. I think Dimitri, I think you're good.
Okay, I hope not, because it's a special day. Anyway, James, listen.
Look, it's Remembrance Day, to confirm, is on the 11th of November.
Okay, we're okay. Thank God. Phew. Anyway,
Dimitri, look, not only do I want to thank you for really including me on this project, it's been fun collaborating again. You really saved the day.
Thanks, brother. And you know what? You saved my day. And again, restaurant touring business is not easy, but I always make time for my friends and family. And my friend, you are both. I'll move mountains for you. It's no problem.
Dimitri, the feeling is mutual. You let me know which mountains need to be moved, and I will be there with a crowbar.
My friend, any day of the week. Hey, yeehaw, my friend. See you.
Yeehaw, indeed. That's Dimitri Kyres coming to us from his Roadhouse Marathons. I have to say something. A couple weeks ago, and all the subsequent weeks after, when Dimitri brought these just insane menus, I couldn't really understand how to get into the psyche of the madness that has to go into building those menus. But then as I got into it, there is something intoxicating about pushing the culinary limits to their own limits. This guy might be onto something. Folks, that's our show tonight. Not only do I have to thank Dimitri, I have to thank Joe, and I have to thank all of the little kids who sent in their drawings, both cute as well as disturbing. I want to thank you for hanging in there and joining us when the show started just a pinch overtime. A reminder, another programming announcement for those of you who don't know, we will be back this Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. for the first ever dinner edition of At Home with James. Again, why 6 p.m.? I will be not only hosting this show, but performing in a live show at 8 p.m. at Mainline Theater. And I thought, the old James, that old codger, he'd say, we're taking the night off. The real James, the authentic James, says, double your pleasure, double your fun. And that's what we are going to do. So we will see you then, 6 p.m. on Friday. Until then, have yourself a good night. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night. Goodbye. Farewell and be well.